Hello and welcome to the Dirk and Plays YouTube channel. Now, I've wanted to make this video for a long time, ever since I got this damn thing. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. This is the PDP Riffmaster. This is the guitar release for Fortnite Festival. Now, this thing's been out for about like 6 months or so now, and I've had it about a month. I had a massive carry on with getting the damn thing, and yeah, I've got it, and now I have a lot of thoughts about it. So let's get into that, shall we? First up, let's just talk about the build quality of the guitar, because I don't know if you can see that because the mic might be in the way. It's kind of not great, and I'm talking about the plastic that's used here and the paint. It's basically a gloss black body, and the problem with that is, if you are familiar with like the PlayStation 4, you know that fingerprints, dust, micro scratches, all that stuff shows up on this sort of material. And a peripheral that you're going to have in your hands all the time, you're going to be like handling it, you're supposed to be rocking out on this damn thing, so having this like piano black style finish on it wasn't the wisest of choices. Like, they could have made it matte black, they could have had it any other color. I don't see why it has to be gloss. And yeah, it looks good when you take it out of the box, but once you've had it out for 30 seconds, there's going to be dust, there's going to be fingerprints and all sorts on this thing, which is going to show up and it's going to look ugly. So apart from that, in terms of like aesthetics, I quite like the design of the guitar. I don't think this is like a licensed model, so it's not like the Strat, which we had with Rock Band. It's kind of like PDP's own take on this guitar. And essentially, it's a Rock Band guitar. And with that comes all of the downfalls that the Rock Band guitars over the years have had. And I think my main issue is the strum bar. Like, listen to this. It doesn't have that click to it. And I'm a person who grew up on Guitar Hero guitars, and not having that like clicky feedback response from the strum bar isn't great. Like, when you're playing, it's nice to have that instant satisfaction of hitting the notes. Like, you can feel it with the Guitar Hero guitars when you click the strum bar down. But with this, it's very like membraney and it doesn't feel nice to use. As far as the buttons go as well, these are probably up there with the Rock Band 4 buttons. They feel the same. They're pretty clicky, but I think they could be more clicky. I don't know if that's just me. I like having tactile feedback in my peripherals, and yeah, I think they feel a bit squishy, like especially the buttons down here, they feel squishy. And for something that you want to have like the feedback on and all that, it's just, I don't know, they've missed the mark a little bit there. And I think the Guitar Hero guitars of the past has this beaten to a T. We've got the whammy bar as well. That's very Rock Band. It's big, it's kind of clunky. But let's move on to my least favorite thing about this guitar. And that is, when you're playing Fortnite Festival, the game that this guitar was designed for, the overdrive or the star power, whatever you want to call it, to activate that, you have to press left on the D-pad. And if you look at where your hand is on the natural like strumming position, say you're strumming like this, or this, your pinky kind of has to reach down. And if you're in the middle of playing a song and strumming notes, it's kind of unnatural to move your hand down like to that aspect of the guitar. And how can we go from having like dedicated star power buttons to this, like having it be on the D-pad? It feels so counterintuitive to what the guitar is trying to achieve. Like, we do have a little PDP button there, but even so, the button's tiny, and I don't believe you can remap it on the console version of Fortnite Festival, which is what I personally play. So that's like no good. And even if it was, like, the whammy bar is in the way there, you can kind of like shove it out the way. But even still, there should be a button in this giant space here for overdrive, for star power. Like, how is that not a thing? I know the Rock Band 4 guitar had the giant like select button, and that was fine for Rock Band 4, but I just feel like the designs have been there in the past and it's proven to work. So why hasn't PDP kind of got on that trend and made this peripheral like the ultimate guitar? Because let's not kid ourselves, the market at this point is like dead. Unless you're getting secondhand Rock Band 4 guitars, which are expensive and they're not very like easy to come by. This thing was supposed to save the day. This PDP Riffmaster was supposed to be our answer as rhythm-based players. But if you've played any version of Guitar Hero guitars in the past, I think you're going to be disappointed by this. And I was very much looking forward to this guitar, and I can't bring myself to accept it. And yeah, I just think as far as the design choices go with this thing, it's missed the mark massively, and it's such a shame because this was supposed to be like the renaissance of rhythm-based games. They did add like a little thumbstick back here, which is cool. You can kind of like control your character there in the menu. But Fortnite Festival isn't really designed for this peripheral because you can't like scroll your emote wheel. There's a bunch of different things you can't do within the game itself, where I think if it was, say, Rock Band 5, it would have been designed with this controller in mind. But no, this thing was like sort of an afterthought in that like regard, because the game mode came out and I think 5-6 months later the guitar got announced for it. And while I do like Fortnite Festival, I just feel they've missed a trick there, and this is part of the problem. This Riffmaster, it's not for me. It sucks, in my opinion, and it's such a shame for people who like the Guitar Hero peripherals, even the Rock Band ones to an extent. I would say that the Rock Band 4 Strat is better than this thing because of the placement of like the select button for star power. The thing is as well, it's got like a capture button in the middle of the select button. So even if you're on Rock Band 4 and you're hitting the select button, which again is quite far down the body of the guitar, I kept finding myself hitting the screen record button, and nobody wants that when they're playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band. It's such a shame because it had so much potential, and I think I was very excited for this thing, and it's come out, it's kind of like it got delivered after a hell of a long time for me, and I'm not impressed with it, pretty much.